Yeah, yeah. I just want to make sure y'all locked in with your boy. Check, check my microphone. Wanna make sure I'm loud and clear when the mic is on. Cause I'm locked in. Check your sights, check your crosshairs. Tell the people what you told me when you was off air. Cause I'm locked in. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Cause I'm locked in. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Cause I'm locked in. Check my microphone. Wanna make sure I'm loud and clear when my mic is on. Cause I'm locked in. Check sights, check your crosshairs. Tell the people what you told me when you was off air. Cause I'm locked in. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Cause I'm locked in. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Cause I'm locked in. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
And welcome to the special edition of Locked In
You are now locked in.
with Champ DeRota.
And Tally T.
And today, we want to talk to you guys about this transition into 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed your 2022, and we want to thank you for joining us as we embark on this journey of being locked in.
But let's take it back a little bit to 2020. We had a
Rewind.
Another year.
2020, wow. So for the last 3 years now, we've been in what is considered a pandemic. It's not over yet, and we're still feeling the effects of it. Wow.
They even like to say it's coming back, but who knows?
Yeah, because they say China get hit over here kind of hard with it, and our prayers are sent out to them. I hope they make it through this and do okay.
Yes,
But the reason why we wanted to talk about this because we wanted to talk about how it affects everyone. Because it affected us greatly. From everything from emotions. So Tali, let's talk about how the feelings and emotions and everything that you had to go through the pandemic. How did that affect you?
I would just say at the time I was living in Pottstown, so
Pottstown?
I ain't gonna represent though. But I was living in Pottstown with my 2 kids. I'm a single mom, and I started feeling alone at that time. Like that's where my feelings was at the time. Yeah. So I just wanted to move back. Every day to day, nobody was working. I was out of work, so I started feeling lonely. I started feeling like I ain't had no money. I feel like at the time everybody's money was running low. There was no unemployment. There was nothing for at least 2-3 months.
Yeah, then they dropped those what was them stimulus packages on us.
Yeah, then they give us our unemployment with the heavy little money. But before then,
right.
We ain't had nothing. Right. And then we had no liquor too. We was a little dry for 2-3 months without the liquor.
Was shut down on the
So you just dealing with your feelings in the house by yourself, patting walls. That's what it started feeling like. I would give it that.
Yeah, yo. Speaking of padded walls, for me, I never really did the quarantine thing because at the time I was renovating some apartments out of West Philly. So I literally didn't care about the quarantine that they told us to be on because I need my fresh air, I need my vitamin D from the sun. So I'm out there. Yeah, because I got ADHD. Yeah. I can't sit still too long. So I was there every day, but the days that I was home, I was going through it. Jada tell you, I was in a house one day and I was just like, yo, I got to do something. So I just went outside and I gathered up some stones in my backyard and I just put it together. I made a fire pit and we lit the fire pit. We just hung out outside that night. And she was like, did you make this? And I was like, yeah, I was bored. I had to do something, So it was, and it was a very emotional time for us as a family with all our kids. And, my daughter being down south at the time and having to endure all that. Not sure what they doing because, Georgia was wilding. Georgia was straight wilding. They had no restrictions or nothing. So I'm like, but the great thing is, I don't think we ever had COVID since the pandemic started. I think we had it before the pandemic started.
I think we had it right before.
Yeah, I think we had it in November 2019.
When it first started.
Man, we was smashed. The whole family, we was sick as hell. But then in 2020 and on, since then, we haven't got it. We've been to Mexico, we've been to Vegas, we've been to San Antonio, we've been to Savannah, Georgia, we've been to Mississippi, we've been to so many places. We got to take these COVID test, and we haven't had anything. So I mean, we was good. But the thing that did affect us the most was the money, because the jobs. You know, Jada wasn't working at the time, but I was still a realtor, and I couldn't show houses. You know, I didn't
I
sell
didn't
a
even think
house.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't sell a house for I think about 3.5, almost 4 months. So we had no money coming in. Like it was tight as rice. Like it was a real bad job. So that definitely played a fact. How did the job situation go with you?
I wound up leaving my job like in the beginning of February,
Mm,
and then they wound up shutting the job down the end of February.
right.
So everybody was out of a job by the end of February anyway. When March came around, that's when they whole pandemic first
Yeah.
started. Honestly, March 1st.
It literally started 3 days before I was supposed to receive my award for real estate. Yeah, that was my first year in real estate, and I was getting an award that Monday, and they shut the world down on Friday. I
Yeah.
was pissed.
I mean, luckily, I feel like it did make a way for now to talk about the now, like for other jobs to open, like the apps, all the apps that's out,
Yeah, a lot of work
Instacart,
from home jobs have become
yeah,
available.
Uber Eats, all that stuff because it opened the way for all of that
I
stuff.
was about to say during that
I
time,
was
a
doing
lot
it
of
heavy.
people had to find a way to make money outside of the normal 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't learn a hustle during 2020 and beyond, that's on you, bro. Like, there's no reason why you should be broke. Like, you should literally have a way to make some money some kind of way, no matter what. Because during that time, everyone was in a hustle bag, and they learned so much about themselves, whether they was go getters or no getters, and wasn't no in between. So, me personally, I was doing everything. I was on hustle mode, like day in and day out, because these bills had to get paid. We got a nice mortgage, we got car notes. We got cable, we got internet, we got cell phone bills for us and all these children. And like I said, Jenny ain't been working for almost 4 years now to this day. But during that time, she was out of work for over a year, and that was all me. So a hustle had to become one of my things.
I feel like the biggest thing for me is that remember I said I was lonely in Pottstown. I wound up moving during the pandemic, so that was hard trying to show my landlord pay stubs that I was working when I wasn't working.
Right.
So it's just like, oh, let me come up with this money, and that was hard too. So it's just like moving and transitioning back to my hometown from Pottstown was a lot.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it was a lot.
Oh
but
yeah.
I didn't want to be out there by myself.
You know what else was crazy?
What?
Remember when the grocery stores was like empty?
Oh my god!
And like, yo, that was so
Hold on, wait.
great.
What is it? 3 feet, 5? What was it?
6 feet.
6 feet.
You had to be 6 feet apart. Like, you had to wait for Johnny to finish at the register before you can approach the register. It was crazy. It was insane. And the great thing about us living out here in the suburbs, we didn't endure what they had to endure in the city of Philly. Like, Philly was crazy. Like, they had so many restrictions. They had to wear masks for like a year and a half. So we wore masks for like 2 weeks. Like, we got right back to normal. Like, people out here was like, we not doing that.
But it also was more testing centers out here than it was.
It was.
Down
Plus,
here.
it's not as many people on top of each other like it is in the city. So it wasn't as many cases of COVID being spread in this neighborhood due to the fact that we don't even live next. Like, there's space in between the houses. Like, we're not on top of each other like you would in the city, whereas those apartment buildings and all that stuff. So it was a lot more latency out here, which was great for us because I was totally against all of those recommendations. I hated it. Like, man, when I had to go to Philly, I felt like I was on punishment. Like, it was wild, but we made it through.
The grocery store.
Yeah. Shoot, a lot of relationships got tore up.
Just imagine being in the house with your spouse. What's up, Sheila?
I mean, we was good. We made it through. We ended up having a baby during the pandemic. July 2020, baby 7 was born. So
he acting like a pandemic baby. These pandemic babies acting crazy out here. You should see him.
Oh, for sure.
He's sitting in the window every Monday.
He said, we outside. Like, he definitely not an inside baby. No. He love the streets. He love the streets. And shoot, we ended up having another banana. We got baby Sky in the building, so these last 2, 3 years. We've been a little busy in them damn Washingtons, creating life on the streets. But a lot of relationships didn't make it.
Yeah.
They
a lot
didn't.
of people got divorced.
Divorce rates was through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real bad joke, and I had a lot of friends that was dealing with that. Oh damn, bro, my wife, my nerves. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Or my husband, he be drawing. I just wish he go away. I don't care if he get another chick. Just leave me alone. Like everybody was in a bag during that time.
I think everybody think it would have been a piece of cake, but then wound up being like, damn, I'm really in the house.
Well,
I gotta see you 24/7.
Well, you remember initially it was only supposed to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They said you gonna just stay in the house 2 weeks. We go on the curve, whatever the curve was.
And then it was like this. We are now locked down.
Locked in.
We are now locked down.
They locked y'all down for a motherfucking long ass time. I ain't gonna lie.
With no date. No date
at all. And I was pissed because sporting events you couldn't go to, restaurants you couldn't go to.
Remember the first football game? It had like the little characters in the little joint.
Oh yeah, they had fake people in the crowd.
Yeah. I was like, when I watched that, I was like, I'm about to just turn off the football game because
think about it.
Got real depressing real quick.
Think about this in 20, 30, 40 years in the future, we're going to be like, yo, what the hell? Did we really allow them to make us act like that? That's crazy. Like, you got to think about it. You telling me you go into a restaurant, wear your mask, sit at the table.
It's plastic in between.
Take your mask off, eat your food, but if you got to get back up to go to the bathroom, you got to put your mask back on? Bro, what sense did that make? Did that really block the COVID from you? Like, you eating with these people. Just because you put the mask back on and go to the bathroom don't mean that it's going to disappear. Like, no, that COVID's still out here, bro. It made no sense. And people's like, okay, well, if they tell me to do it, I'm going to do it.
But I think it was because of this. They controlled us to the fullest extent. First, they was like, we're going to keep them in the house. Then they was like, oh, my God, now we got to get them out because they're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
That was the worst suicide rate.
Yeah, suicide rate was through the roof.
High.
It was insane.
Which is understandable.
It was insane.
You feel like you're in a bad vibe.
Especially with the kids. So, like, these kids are normally out going to school and a lot of children struggle with schoolwork because they had to learn how to do everything online and basically being their own teachers or their parents had to become their teachers. It was brutal. And then doing the Zoom, I hate Zoom. I hate Zoom to this day. I'm not a Zoom person.
I can't imagine my 5-year-old in Zoom during the pandemic. I'm gonna call it quits because Sage is a savage.
He sure is. Listen.
You know what? You got it, homie.
See, like me personally, I'm an in-person person.
Mm-hmm.
So when they was doing all that Zoom stuff, we having real estate meetings and all that, and it's gonna be on Zoom. I'm not coming. I'm not gonna be there. Unless y'all meet up in person, don't call me. Damn. I'm not going to be. I don't want to be logging onto a computer. I have ADHD. I've been on that computer for 2 seconds. I turn my head. I'm distracted. It's over. You got to have me in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you can keep my attention. I got issues.
Shoot, I let my daughter live with her dad at that time because I am not. I don't homeschool. I didn't sign up for being a teacher, so... You got that, homie. That's your specialty, not mine.
Jada was on top of that because I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't help him. You know, I'm smart and all, but I'm not be playing around with no. Like I said, I don't do the Zoom thing. I'm not gonna be playing around on these computers.
I think just the unknown about like when it was gonna be over, and I feel like still to this day, it's still not over. Some things are still not all the way back to the norm. I feel like it'll never be normal.
Remember they kept saying the new normal. Yeah. The new normal. I hated that saying so much.
And it was repeated over and over again, too.
Because they wanted to instill it in your brain. You know, that's why we call it the pandemic. But we ain't going to get into that. Because that's a whole nother topic. We probably going to get banned when we start talking. And we start talking the way I'm thinking, then they ain't going to shut this show down. Period.
About all the theories.
Yeah. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I ain't going to hold you. If you don't believe one conspiracy theory, something is wrong with you. If you really think that the government is batting 1,000 and they tell you the truth every single day, they just told us that it was aliens a couple years ago.
But at the time when they told us, that's when everything was going on. They'd be like, that they're more receptive now. Let's put in that. Let's throw in the aliens real quick.
Exactly. After all these years, they told us it wasn't aliens.
So and at that point, we like, okay, aliens.
Well,
it was. That's how everybody was.
Are you familiar with predictive programming?
Mm-mm.
So basically, predictive programming is when they put something in your face through media, movies, TV, stuff like that, and then when it actually happened, you're like, it's not that bad. No, it don't affect you as much because you've been programmed to deal with it already. Yeah. Crazy, right? Unfortunately, listen, I gotta stop talking because my conspiracy theory hat come on. This hat goes off. You know what I mean? I got on aluminum foil. It gets crazy. Well, we don't want the aluminum foil to come out because they're like, damn, Champ is thrown the off. But I'm not.
Do you feel like they're gonna pull something out? Do you feel like they're gonna pull something else out? Something else about to happen? Yeah, it's never gonna stop. Think about it. Since I was a kid, right? It's been going on every year. The swine flu, the H1N1, it's always something. What's the Ebola? It was always something. It never the Zika virus. When does it stop? But do you feel like it's been handled like this? Like we had the pandemic of our years or whatever the case is. Our parents probably had something else. This person probably had something else of their years. Is it just polio, all that? It's just a continuing thing. It's just that we're experiencing now that it's so live. Or do you feel like the pandemic was the more upscale of all of the things that have happened? Oh yeah, no, that was top tier. This is the pandemic. Okay. Yeah, it's kinda, they tried to get a little funky on it. It's in line with the Spanish flu. So it was like the 100-year anniversary of the Spanish flu. It's like, yo, drop some hot shit. You know what I'm saying? So they dropped the COVID. Listen, let me stop. They really dropped it on the 100-year anniversary though, bruh. You better stop. We gonna get your damn sick. Nah, but seriously though, if I get into conspiracy theories, I don't know how far we're gonna go because I get a little crazy. My friends is aliens, so they tell me some information that's not privy to the normal person, and I don't want to get into that. Because they're like, oh my God, Champ's so crazy. Throw the hell off. What's wrong with him? Like that's a lot of my friends, though. We all talk about, like, out of the box stuff. And it's okay because it's safe, so. Yeah. And we laugh about it, but we real life be like, I mean, we real life. Let's talk about it. It was crazy. I remember I was a young boy, and I used to watch this show that came on like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was called the people that was, like, planning for the end of the world people. They had, like, a whole stockpile of canned goods and all kinds of military weaponry and all kinds of stuff in their garage and all that. They had a bomb shelter and all that. I said, these people crazy as hell. Then I started learning about these conspiracies. Then you'd be like, let me go get a bunk. And I was like, damn, I need a bomb shelter. No, fuck all of that. We need a bunk. A bunk. What is it, a bunker? A bunker? Yeah, I mean, so we're going to have a bunker on the farm. Because when we get the farm, we're going to have a compound. Listen, we give out too much information. We can't get all that. They gonna be like, can we join? No, you can't join. Absolutely not. This is for us. So, what do you look forward into the new year? Like, what energy you bring in? Like, so it's been what 2.5 months since we started Loc'din, and I think 2023 is going to be the year that we really take off because I can see us. We're going to be touching on different subjects. We're going to be, having different events. And I really think we're going to talk about some things that the people really want to talk about. Not my conspiracy theories, but we're going to talk about some things that the people want to talk about. It's going to get live and personal. And we're going to have some awesome guests on here as well. But besides that, in my personal life, I just want to continue to grow. Make sure that my family is great. Make sure my funding is great. And just do some major things. Hopefully I can get that farm this year. What about you? What you look forward to in 2020? I would say for Loc'din, a lot of people have been asking me about the show, want to be on the show. I feel like it could be a good contribution to it. As far as my personal stuff, I'm looking for a move. Oh shit! Looking for a move. Right. And also starting my business too. I do want to. I do locks, so I definitely want to open up a shop here and at another location too. Right. Yeah, locked in. So listen. But that's my goals. That's my goals right now. That's my goals. I got to get back on track because my locks was longer and then I ripped them out. And I
redid them. So
he just can't keep his hands out his head.
I can't. But it's gonna be locked in the way I want it this time because I thought it was a little too big before, and now they the size that I want. And
they're good size, the size I started them at, but they weren't. But we're not gonna talk about that.
We're not gonna talk about that. We locked in. 2023 is going to be amazing. And I'm glad you guys was here to join us for this holiday special. Happy New Year's. Enjoy your year. We'll see you soon. Stay locked in.